Hello and welcome. I'm son Chanin and I'm interviewing my amazing friend Toks, who is a
Hi.
phenomenal. Hey, how you doing? How you doing today?
Yeah, good to see you. Love the hair.
Thank you, thank you. Bit wild, so I'm bit of morning here, but I kind of touched it up, so that shouldn't be a
Nice.
problem. So we're doing this amazing interview, and where are you located from, Toks?
I'm in London. I'm in
London,
London, UK.
London,
Yeah.
London, UK, which my sister and brother-in-law lives down there, by the way. And
And where are
London,
you? In
huh?
America?
In America and Atlanta, Georgia. So,
Yes. We were there a few moons ago.
oh yeah, oh awesome, awesome. I know it's
Mm.
Atlanta can be a little bipolar with the weather. So if it's not raining, it's sunny. If it's not sunny, it's cold. If it's not cold, it's the other. So Atlanta's has a lot of mood swings.
Ah,
And
we
speaking,
came when it was nice and sunny.
yeah, yeah, sunny. And speaking of mood swings, I want to talk about when it comes to emotions, and I know you train a lot of people with that. A lot of people with like a lot of spiritual development, self-development. And
Yeah.
what I want to I think my first question is how do you really handle people with past traumas, like when they're going through like past traumas that they're
I, I think what's very important with people with past traumas is they need to be listened to.
right,
They,
right,
they need to be heard. They need to be empowered that their trauma is real and that they're not over dramatizing things. Because you see, when people are in trauma, people who have no experience of trauma think, why are you still going on about this? You should
mm-hmm.
be over it by now. But they're not the ones that experience the trauma. For the person with the trauma, it's real. And
Okay,
it could be just as real as afraid to cross the street or going on the tube or going out. So the trauma can trigger so many reactions and emotions. They don't want to be touched. They look at something and they get afraid, or they suddenly get angry. And you said the trigger word, you said a word. So trauma, post-traumatic stress, or any form of trauma can be triggered from a car accident. It can be triggered from a broken relationship. It can be triggered from a death.
mm,
It could be triggered from mental issues and mental problems. So there are different types of trauma and different types of emotion. And the way we respond is individual and different. You see, people aren't right or wrong. It's our expectations that make
right,
us judge them to be
right,
right or wrong. Oh, he has a mental problem. Oh, she's traumatized. Oh, this. Oh. So we're constantly making judgments. And yet, this judgment we make about a person, we wouldn't like it if somebody judged us this way.
mm-hmm.
And it's so easy for us to make judgments and say, oh, they're traumatized by the divorce, traumatized by this. Oh, that was raped, was this. But hey, don't make fun or belittle another person's trauma because it didn't happen to you.
Right,
And I think one of the things with people who suffered trauma or are going through trauma or have been traumatized is they need to be heard.
mm-hmm.
They need to be told that they need to be listened to and heard. And they need to be told it's okay, you will get better. It may take a while. And slowly you start to teach them or guide them to look at life in a different way. So after the talk, we then work with empowering them with a different thought. So for example, a person who's had a car accident may find it very difficult to go back and drive in the car. And that may take
Wow.
weeks, days, or even years. And slowly they go for therapy. They can go to a psychologist. They can take medication. When they come to someone like me, I don't prescribe medication because I'm not a doctor. So I wouldn't interfere with what their doctor has given them. I'm not a psychologist, so I couldn't give them the therapy that a psychologist would give them. I'm a complementary practitioner trained in various forms of healing and a life coach and various forms of personal development in my training to help. I have a gift, and my gift is a gift of patience. My gift is a gift of listening. without judgment. My gift is the gift of healing. My gift is the gift of empowering a person to begin to believe in themselves, no matter how small. And that belief, slowly we build. I had a client who came to me, very beautiful, on lots of antidepressants, lots of medical stuff. And through over a period of 6 months, she suddenly naturally stopped taking her antidepressants. And what resulted was her partner then didn't like her because she was now becoming independent. So they were now having arguments. So we had to then do a session about her empowering herself and being different from being dependent on the antidepressants. Well, today I can say that they're both happily married and they have twins.
Wow.
So it's not easy, but it's not an overnight process. It's whereby the clients or the people come because they trust you, and you build trust and rapport, and they begin to see proof in their lives. They suddenly say, "Oh, Toks, I now feel so much better. Oh, I was taking 12 anti-tablets and now I'm just taking 6. Oh, Toks, I've gone to the doctors and slowly the doctor's surprised that I'm taking less because my belief is better. I'm feeling more positive. I'm actually smiling. I'm enjoying my work. I'm really feeling beautiful." So it's a process, and each person, son, is different. So we have to look at each individual person. So because this is what I do, perhaps I have the time. So when you go to the doctor, it's always a quick, a written prescription, and I have the time. So clients, people allocate time for my service. They pay a package form, and thereby we do a maybe a 3-month program, a 1-month program. So it varies. And this, we work on one thing. My client, another client, is it okay if I go on?
No, please go on. This is very, very interesting.
Yes. I had another client I've been working with for 7 years. Okay. The reason I'm saying 7 years was because when she came to me, she came for massage. And she's used to massage. I said, "No, you've come for a massage, but it's not a massage. We need to declare at you, and you've got some healing.
We got some wounds that need to be healing," you're saying.
Yes, yeah. Some trauma, some emotional issues. And she was like, I said, "I'm not giving you a massage. I'm not, you have massage everywhere." She said, "Yes." She said, "How do you know?" I said, "Because it's my job. It's my job to know. You're not, you had a massage, you have a massage at least 3-4 times a week." She said, "Yes, I do." I said, "So what you coming to me for a massage? You go there. What you need from me is healing and cleansing and release of the trauma that you've come in with." And over the years, we helped her with various things from sexual abuse to emotional abuse, to abuse in her relationships, to abuse in her family, in her career, in her work. So she had a lot of abuse in her in various forms. And slowly, over the years, we worked on them. And sometimes it was easy, and sometimes she felt like throwing a computer at me.
Oh, God.
Because the trigger, when you're dealing with people with so many emotional issues, you have to be very strong, because they're going to get angry with you. If I'm going to do this work and people are getting angry with me, it's normal. And if I can't handle them, then I can't handle them when they're good or bad.
I think they're like when they're letting those emotions out, they're like, it's unbalanced. Like they can't handle it just being in that shell. It has to come out some one way or another for them to express it. Right. Right.
Yes. Spot on, son. Spot on. Exactly what you are perfectly right. Yes. And you need to be in a state of balance for me as a practitioner, so they can feel comfortable with the emotion. And one of my clients said to me, "I've never met anyone like you. I shout at you, I do this, and you still love me."
And that's a beautiful thing, just to know that someone who's able just to be in constant rage or constant anger and just don't know how to really control those emotions, they're thinking like this person must look at me like I'm just wow, like I'm just crazy. But I think you express that with constant love to know that they're there. You're not going nowhere, and
No.
that's what they need, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that that support from you, which you're giving them.
Yes.
And like they said, they never met a person like you because they know, like I think most everyday life people won't do that. They're like, oh no, okay, I got to get away from this guy or girl who before they attack me, like you said, throw a computer at me, and next thing you know, I'm one of hurt. So I think that's just a beautiful thing. That's a
Yes.
real beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And I think like the next question is, it's like when like for me example, it took me a while to get used to. And I think you heard the phrase energy vampires, when you just go from and just doing your normal life thing, whether it be work, whether it be going to an appointment, whether it be just hanging out with friends, and someone just comes in a room and next thing you know they just suck up all your energy. And it took me a while to really get used to that, because I guess because I didn't know this happened later on until early high school, when I was I think at a bookstore with a few friends and just studying, and one person just came in and I just literally felt like Superman on kryptonite, if that's what makes sense. And how do you, I guess what I'm saying is, how do you suggest that people go through this? Because I still go through it from every now and then, but how do you suggest when people go, when they're just having a happy day and they meet that one person with this just negative energy so powerful that it's sucking them dry? How would you say they have to go really deal with that?
Um, this is what we call energy vampires.
Hmm.
You say bloodsuckers there, and they may be aware of this or they may not be. I have been here in London walking and I've seen some soul stealers. So they're people stealing souls or stealing energy. They're living off the energy of another person. It's like when you meet a friend, you spend your time with your friend, and after they leave, you feel tired and depleted. They've hooked onto your energy. So you're like a hook. They've
Hmm.
hooked onto you and they're sucking. They're
Just constantly
sucking.
taking and taking and taking.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they will do that with many people. It may not just be you. So they're energy vampires. They drain, they live off other people's energy. They
Hmm.
see something and they need to possess it.
Hmm.
Sometimes they may, some people are aware of it, some are not. But I feel that on another level, they know that they're aware of it. And sometimes it's intentional. It may also be that it's maybe also past life issues where they feel they expect and they feel it's their right to suck other people's energy. They feel it's their right
Yeah.
because they're selfish. They're coming from a fundamental darkness, and they need to change the poison in their lives to medicine. And they feel that by taking the energy, it is helping them to heal. They have to learn how to not do that and how to unhook themselves from the person. Or if they don't, you need to unhook them from you. So unhook them from you. See what I'm doing? Unhook them
Just
from you.
push it all away.
Yeah, so notice what I'm doing. I'm making the movement up
Up,
and down,
push it. Okay. Up
up and
and
down.
down.
So what
Okay.
you're doing is you're sending it back to source. Yeah. And you
Mhm.
say thank you and you send it back to source. However, sometimes that may not be something that's easy for a person to do because the energy is too dark. And you may do that, but you may not get rid of it because the person has a more dark energy,
Mm.
more fundamental darkness. So you may not have the power or ability to release this. So you'll need help, like someone like me or someone who's trained to help you to see what is specifically the way you need. So we tune into your energy and see how it would work. And even the person may come to me and I may not even be given permission to deal with it. So again, it's knowing discernment, knowing whether you are allowed to work with the energy. So not all healers, or it's like not all doctors can do the operation. Not all psychologists can fix the same person or the person. There's something that you have a skill for. If I cannot do it, I will tell you, I am sorry, I cannot do it. If I know someone who can, I will recommend. If I don't, I will just say, I do not know. Because you cannot pretend or have an ego and think that you can do everything. You cannot. Sometimes you have to say, I can't take this on, or I don't have the time, or I am not given permission to. And this is very important. Knowing as a practitioner, whether you're working with your ego or whether you're working with the divine, is a concept of discernment and detachment. So these two words are very important when working with people's emotions and when working with people. Right. You know, so does that answer the question?
Okay, yeah, it pretty much answers it. You mentioned too, which is just mainly just getting not attached from those egos, you're saying, right?
Yes, I'm just saying that as a practitioner, it's important as a person helping others not to go into ego, to know when you're working from ego and when you're working with the divine. When you're working with the divine, you're connected to the source, to the soul. You're in alignment with your true essence. You're opening up to more of your energy. You're opening up to more abundance. You're opening up to more divinity. You're opening up to more of your healing, spiritual development, and spiritual work. So when you start your healing journey, or you're activating your own personal development and your own spiritual development, you become aware of these sensitive things, the hooks. So you now know you need to do research. You need to find out how to unhook yourself. You need to know that, okay, you need to learn discernment. You need to learn protection. You need to understand what's happening around your energy field. You need to start protecting yourself. Right. On my retreat, Opening to More in November, from the 8th to the 12th of November, I will be covering aspects of protection and opening to more protection, opening to more abundance, opening to more your spiritual channels, opening your spiritual channels, your chakras, opening you more to more of who you are and activating your own self-mastery.
To the whole third eye, the whole everything.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's
so it's opening the third eye to see. However, in opening the third eye to see, son, we also have to balance all the chakras, because sometimes it happens easily and sometimes it takes a while. So activation of your chakras and alignment to source, to soul, to divine activates manifestation in all aspects of your life. Like in the base chakra, you would manifest security and money. In the heart chakra, it manifests love. So each chakra in the solar plexus, you manifest confidence and courage. You know, so there are many things. In the throat chakra, it manifests communication with ease. So when you're opening up to more and you're aligning yourself to all of this, you are opening up various aspects within you to enable you to write the CV, get the job, go for the interview, say what you mean, design, open your creativity for your business or whatever, for in your relationship.
And once you say you have all these open, everything is just, it's like you're the superhero. Everything just comes to you on automatically.
Yes.
Because you let it go of everything and now you're just free. You're aware of the world. You're aware of the universe. You're aware of yourself and other people. And so it just comes.
Yes. So the awareness you talk to is the activation of the true self, awareness of what feels right for you, and awareness of your boundaries, what you will allow into your life and what you will say no. So what you allow around you, your circle of love, and anything outside the circle of love around you is a no. So by being aware of your boundaries, you see, you cannot be aligned to source and live on earth without being aware of your boundaries. Because you can't just float around, oh, I'm so happy, I'm a hippie, I'm doing this, and then you walk in the street and be happy and you get run over. You have to be practical. You have to have your senses. You have to pay your bills. You have to pay for your car. You have to pay for schooling. You have to pay for clothes.
Everyday society things that you still have to be aware of.
Yes. Of course, you can be someone in the mountains and people are feeding you, so you don't have to work, so you can sit in bliss but you still have to make sure somehow you're being fed, and you can afford to be there. Because people say, oh, I'm living in the country. Yes, you live in the country, but you still have to get up and cook, and the land has to be feeding you food. So everything involves, the universe is constantly feeding us. Mother Earth is constantly feeding us with food, with plants, with vegetation, with animals. Some people eat animals, some people eat plants. The universe is constantly feeding us. Mother Earth, Father Sky is constantly looking after. We believe and we have the sun. We believe and we have night. So without us doing anything, night and day just go around in a circle. So there's a rhythm to life.
And I was just about to ask you about when it comes to food. I think now these days you see when it comes to food, like you see a lot of people taking like a lot of healthy like supplements and products. Because I think, some of the stuff in food, especially like fast foods, which is bad. And I know that food can also play a big part in our emotions. Like if we eat bad food, we get cranky, we get sleepy, we just kind of get sick. If we eat healthy food, like I eat healthy food because it gets you in a good mood, you feel more aware. And I think that plays an important key to everything, right? That's why when people are doing like your manifestations, I think sleep and food, it boosts it, right? Good food, it boosts it more to get you more aware. And I think if when you eat bad food and you're trying to like, I think go in the process, open your third eye, it kind of makes you stuck in a way, right?
Well, in the retreat, I've asked that we have no alcohol and no drugs.
Yeah.
Because you just want to be in a wholesome space. I've asked also no coffee, so it's like, just keeping just a few days, where you just allocate time to heal yourself, to serve yourself, to nourish yourself, to be in a space of sacred space where food is prepared, wholesome food is prepared for you. It's in the cost. Food and accommodation is in cost of the retreat, and it's quite cheap. And you by eating the food, you see, son, if you eat food that doesn't agree with you, eventually it'll show. You either put on weight, you may lose weight, you have pain in your tummy, you may have diarrhea or constipation, you may even have a headache. So when you start to monitor what you're eating and you see how your body responds, if you choose to listen to how your body responds to you, then you can start to work. But not everyone wants to listen to their body.
Yeah. Which the phrase "you are what you eat" is so true, right?
Yes.
Because if you eat something bad, it's basically going to show.
Yes.
And then just affect those that aura, that energy inside you, and just make everything just kind of a rocky road, right?
Yes. I know there are many horror stories of people eating pork and having worms in their body or in their brains.
Yeah.
And so, but that's how it affects people. So when you eat something, you can end up having a body full of worms. And there are documented evidence of all of this from eating food that doesn't serve you. And then, of course, if you drink or smoke, you can, and you're doing all this, you can have, autoimmune deficiency. You can have things like cancer. So there are many things that if we don't look after our body, the first home we live in is our body. Our body is a temple. It's a sacred divine home. Treat it with love and respect and hug it and love it.
A beautiful shell that we're in.
Yes, it is. Yes. Yeah. But you have to recognize it, and you have to honor it. And you have to say, yes, I am handsome, I'm beautiful, but you may not feel it. You may not feel it. I have, somebody said, oh, Toks, you're so beautiful no matter what age you are, and I'm so ugly. I held my heart and I stopped what I was doing. And I spent 30 minutes speaking to her. I said, you have a beautiful voice, you have a lovely walk, You have a beautiful nose and lovely eyes, and you are beautiful to me. You think I'm beautiful? That's nice. And I think you're beautiful. And I love the way you dance. I love the way you coordinate your clothes. You always look like a upper class English woman, you know. And she's not English, you know. I said, you always look elegant. You love horses. You ride horses. You are so wonderful on many levels. And she just sat quiet as I honored and reminded her how beautiful she is. And I said, we are both very beautiful in different ways. And I want you to know that I think you're beautiful. You see, I have no idea whether somebody told her she was ugly when she was young. So she just looked at me like, she didn't talk. She was like,
She was just amazed.
yeah,
Amazed
that
about,
I saying that to her.
yeah, about
And
how.
and she looked in my eyes. She could hear the sincerity in my voice. Because I stopped everything. I put my book down and I said, we got to talk about this. And I didn't look around me. I looked into her eyes and I held that contact and I kept smiling. And then when she cried, you know, during the conversation, I just held the energy. I didn't hug her. I just held the energy and let that tear, the release of the tears, come out. And then she took a deep breath. And I said, let's say together, I am beautiful. And then she went, I am beautiful. And again, I am beautiful. Again, I am beautiful. Again, I am beautiful.
Until she could say it with no at ease and no interruptions. Just say, I am beautiful. I am beautiful. And I think that's with everything. Like when self-love, when you hear everybody, oh, when am I going to find my soulmate? When am I going to find that twin flame? When can I find that right person? But it all makes sense. I think I heard this off The Secret, and when the woman said the best part about a relationship is the person in a relationship, and it's not the other person, which is the boyfriend or girlfriend or husband or wife. It's yourself, because the more you tend to accept yourself of who you are and love yourself, the more that person is going to show, the universe is going to attract that person you want into your life, correct?
Yes. And it's so important, yeah, as you open up to more love, more abundance, more money, more strength, more courage, more confidence. You begin to work with the essence of you, who you are, who you have become, and who you are now, and who you want to become. Because life is constantly changing. The only constant thing on earth is change.
Exactly.
And you have a choice to make that change. The choice is yours. People can suggest to you, oh, don't wear this, don't eat this. But in the end, the choice is yours.
Which is why the saying goes, your most best friend is yourself, and your most worst enemy is also yourself. Because if you let it be, which is by the choice. And I like that. I like that. Because no one can stop us but us, which is the truth. No matter how much encouragement someone brings or how much, negativity brings, it still all depends, if the only person that can stop us at the end of the day is ourselves. Correct.
Yes.
And that's what I really love.
Yes. And sometimes that can be difficult when we're full of limiting decisions, when we're full of lack, doubt, no self-belief, no self-worth. We are consumed by doubt, by fear, by negative emotions that freeze us. So it's very important to gather in a sacred space or be with someone or people that empower you. And begin to light the light in your life and in your heart. So opening to more is about activating your intuition, activating your own power, and calling in your self-mastery. For you see, the self-mastery of yourself is the greatest joy
that you can ever have. Yeah. Just that's beautiful. That's beautiful. I think my favorite question is, about you. When did you start to learn that you had just this amazing passion, abilities, and just we all have an origin about how it all started. And I definitely have to ask this, like, when did it all start for you
I was
on
a
your
little
journey?
I was a little girl,
Hmm.
and they were this couple, a man and woman, who were coming to my father's flat, house, big house. And I said, these people aren't nice. They aren't nice at all. They're not nice. And he told me off, and he made me stand and put my hands up and punished me in front of them because I said it. I, I, I was a child. I don't like them, Daddy. They're not nice people. They're trying to steal your money.
You just you instantly knew, okay, something's not right. I got this spider sense, that something is going off. Something's telling me. And I guess your dad kind of got a little upset just by saying, and just say, okay, I need you to
Pew, pew.
apologize.
Well, what happened was then I was very ill. I had malaria, and they were coming in the night at midnight and 4 a.m. to steal my soul.
Oh my God. Does sound like a horror movie.
Yes. So I was very ill and very weak.
Uh-huh.
And my father was the doctor, he was doctor, professor, gynecologist, a chief and a shaman. So he was coming and giving me injections and whatever.
Mm.
And every night I'd see them by my window calling me, wanting to take my soul. And I'd say, no, you are one of us. You are evil. You are evil. You're one of us. Come with us. Come with us. And I go, no, I am not. And I'd be shouting at the top of my voice. And my father would walk in and he'd come in, there'll be nothing. So I said, someone's telling me this. And he'd look and he'd keep quiet. And it was the same people that I had been talking about. So when I was, even before I knew anything, I was being tested. I mentioned earlier on, there's soul stealers who need to steal an innocent soul to make them even more powerful.
More powerful, and you didn't let them get that power. You
I
refused. Yeah.
didn't know I was a child. I didn't know I was powerful. I just
Yeah.
knew that I didn't
It's
like
something
them.
bad. It's something bad, and you have to get away from it.
Yeah. So when you're ill and they steal your soul or they kill you, they want to steal that aspect of you. And there's a belief in some cultures that when you steal something from someone or you wear something that you have killed, you have their power. Mm. There's some traditions around the world where if you want to steal a person, you kill them and you have all their power. You become them. So the good energy, you can turn that purity and use it to give you even more power for the dark side. So there are different vibrations. So I didn't know, but I just sensed it. So that was my first experience of the negative side.
Right.
And then I saw a book, Quietly Comes the Buddha by Gautama Buddha. And I didn't know about it, but I would carry the book and I'd sleep with it. So even the signs were there from when I was a teenager, and the little things that happened where somebody wanted to inject me with drugs. I had an auntie who was a drug addict, and she came to me to inject me with drugs. And I went, no, I don't want. I didn't know what it was, but It was like every time something bad was going to happen, it wouldn't happen. She said, I said, no, I don't want this. I didn't know what it was. Now I know, And then I think either my father came in or somebody came in. I just said no, but there was a disturbance, so she couldn't inject in me. And then she ran away because she was a drug addict. She was very intelligent. But it was interesting how when I reflect on all the experiences I was having where people wanted to turn me into poison, turn me into fundamental darkness. And today I work turning people's poison to medicine.
Into light.
Yes, and turning the darkness to light. So it's alchemy. I turn the poison or the sadness into medicine and joy. So every new moon and full moon, I do meditations on Zoom, whereby anybody can Zoom in everywhere from around the world. And this meditation is working with the energy of each particular new moon and full moon. And it's a 1 hour's meditation. And in this meditation, I'm teaching and I'm clearing and I'm empowering people. So some people have come to the meditations with exactly this negative energy. I have a client who, through coming to the moon meditations, her bipolar has improved. They were going to put her on medication and sanction her. And I didn't know she had bipolar. She only let me know 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I was like, wow. That was like, wow. All she's doing is, she said, when I come to the meditations, something happens in me. So you can see that the spiritual purification is affecting other aspects. It's her brain. And everybody knows how sound affects the brain, how meditation affects the brain, how it calms us down. So I was like, wow, I didn't even know this. So when you are doing spiritual work, there are other aspects. Also, if you do good spiritual work, you youth. So you'll see that people who've been doing chanting or great work, they're 60, they look 40, they're 80, they look 60. Even some of them are really old and they look like they're 40 or 50.
And they look so young.
Yes. Yeah, sorry, they are old, but they look young. So when you start doing spiritual refinement, your health, and I'm not talking Botox. I'm not talking, you just bloom. Mm-hmm. And you age gracefully. Nothing wrong with those who want to take Botox. It's your choice. I'm not making a judgment. Okay. What I'm saying is that many people who do spiritual work, I find that some of them are very ageless, Mm-hmm. Some of them are very young looking, not all, but some, so I think, did that answer your question?
Yeah. Basically the saying spiritual work is like medicine. It takes care of the shell. We have our soul, which is internal, but it nurtures our shell, which is us, our bodies rather.
So in the physical body,
mm-hmm.
we have an essence, and the soul is boss. The soul is boss. If we work on the soul, it filters into our auric field and our physical body and helps to heal our physical body.
Heal the physical body.
Working on the auric field and the energy of the soul. Now, when you die, you release the shell of the physical body. So if you look at a body that's been cremated, you'll see it's got crystals in it. It's very crystal. It's brown and black and it's crystal. So the body, when it's cremated, you can see crystal formation in the ashes of the cremated ashes.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we are buried on earth, if we open, we just see the bones. And sometimes the bones have crystallized. So within us are little sort of crystals. That's why a lot of people like crystal healing. In computers, we have man-made crystals. In watches, we have crystals. Now, these are man-made, but it just shows how the vibration of crystals on earth, the shining stars, crystals are shining stars on earth. And we have crystals in us. That's why a lot of people work with crystals, and some people don't believe in it. However, it really doesn't matter whether you believe or not in something. What matters is if you get the results.
Exactly.
Yeah, look, if somebody tells me, Toks, there's something I believe will help you, I say, okay, try it. If it helps me, it helps me. If somebody says, when my partner Patrick died this year, June at 3 a.m., June the 5th, 2019, I had many people praying for him. Jews, Muslims, shamans, Catholic, Christians, Anglicans, born-again Christians were praying, Hindus, Tibetans were praying for his soul. And some said, oh, Toks, you shouldn't allow it. I said, no, I want them to pray because every good prayer is a good prayer.
Good prayer.
Yes. Every good prayer, every good thought will help to move him to the divine. So I chanted for 50 days non-stop, 3 to 4 hours, if not longer, during the 50 days. And And on the 50th day, I had a remembrance service just to honor him. So I did that to journey his soul. Now, that's because of my job, not because, I have any special favors, but because I had committed to him and I told him and I promised him I'd stay with him till the end. And I promised him. And I thought that was it. And then I got a message, no, you now need to chant for him for 50 days. So when you're doing spiritual work and you're opening yourself to more, and you're opening yourself to more abundance, more love, more healing, more intelligence, it's a fabulous experience. You will be tested, you will. It doesn't mean that your life is easy and smooth. You have to live in the reality of your earthly existence and still continue. And this is what is so wonderful. We're all working. You're working. You're doing great work. And everywhere you go, you're smiling. People just love you because of your energy, your essence, your purity, your sincerity. And it oozes out of every pore of you. Mm-hmm. And this is the opening to more, the self-mastery of more. And you are entitled to more. So, you should be content. You've had enough. After you've had enough, and you are enough, doesn't mean you shouldn't go for more refinement of your soul and to open to more kindness, more compassion, more understanding, money.
It's just unlimited. It's just there is no end unless you want an end. It's just a limit.
Yes. If you have more money, you can send people to school, can't you?
Yeah, more abundance. More abundance is the thing.
And you can send people in the Bronx to school. You can in the village. You can choose. I'm going to send 100 people to school. Now that is money well spent, isn't it?
That's and it makes you feel like it makes you feel good because that you did something that's just phenomenal.
And I can see you doing that.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. I know, and because like I was just mentioning to a friend a while back ago, and they asked me, they said, Sonny, why? You said, what you have a passion for really helping people, and I said, because when I help people, when I hear them out, because that's all people want to do is basically be heard out. Someone to hear them out. When you hear people out, when you help them, it makes you feel good, not because it's the right thing to do, but it just makes you feel good because you can feel that energy that's flowing through you. And you saying, okay, that energy is so beautiful, it's so good. You want more of it. So the more you get it and the more things the universe brings into you in return.
Yes.
And that's and that right there, I think, it gets no better than that to me. When I help people, it's like free energy for like the bill. It doesn't go off. Just keeps going on and on and on. And I want to talk to you about numbers because I see them every day. Even like I think one is about to come up soon, which is 1111. I think every day, there's not been a day I woke up where I didn't see. I can go on. I've seen 1111, 333, 606, 16, 16, 14, 14. And I think each of them means something. But if you talk about what does it all mean, I think in my theory, does it mean like you're in the right path or something big is going to happen that's coming your way? So be prepared. What would you have to say for people who are wondering, what in the heck do these numbers mean? Why am I seeing this? I want to know. If I wish I knew what the universe is trying to tell me, what do they mean?
It's a very good question. Some numbers are called master numbers. They're holy numbers, they're divine numbers, and they're sacred number. One of the sacred numbers is the number 11. So 1111, this year is going to be November the 11th. That's going to be the actual 11th month on the 11th day. And I will be holding an 1111 workshop. It'll be during the time of my retreat in Cyprus, where I'm going to get everyone to be in white. And we're going to work with the vibration of the master number 11, the holy number 11, the number of manifestation of angels, the sacred divine number. 11, 11 makes 2, 1, you stand, and that's your self-mastery, the number of self-mastery. So yes, some numbers have sacred meaning. In fact, all numbers have sacred meaning. So number 1 is a number of leadership, looking at aspects of you as a leader. Number 3 is working with the Trinity, Father, Son, and Holy Ghost, Isis, Osiris, and Horus, working with the divinity of 3, the triple vibration. And number 4 is solid structure, working for solid, for foundation. So the 4 would be foundation, activating strength and solid foundation in your home or in your structure. So yes, you are correct. Usually I say, when you see a number and the number hits you, stay quiet for a minute and keep a good thought for humanity. So when I see 1111 on my phone, like today before we started, I've taken my phone, I saw 2222 because I believe it's the 22nd.
22nd, yeah.
I saw 2222 on the 22nd. I took a picture and I held in silence. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 22, 22, adds up to 6. 6 is after the number of celebration, which is 5, and 6 is a stepping out to more. But 2 is relationship. So 2 and 2 is 4. 22, 22 is 4, 4 on the 22nd. So we've got 4 sets of 4. 2 and 2 make 4. 4 is solid foundation. How are you grounding yourself and energizing yourself? How you bring in the multiple of abundance? And today, on this day, you and I are doing this interview. So that is a very 22, 22, 22 interview today, because it brings in the energy of 444 and 222, and also 22, which is twins, yin and yang, opposites left and right, yes and no. And then you have that vibration, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. And then you have the vibration of 4.
4. and
so
and,
it makes sense.
It's all like a bit of kind of sort of like of a language, right?
Yes, there
like
is. It
language.
is numerology, the world of numerology, working with numbers. It's quite abstract. It can be very scientific. And when it is broken down purely by a numerologist, it's absolutely fascinating.
Wow. And that's and like you said, when we go in society from day-to-day lives, it's like these numbers are with us no matter what, even if we're aware or not aware. Because when I graduated, when I came out of high school, that's when it just happened. And I noticed, like, okay, yeah, something's happening, something extraordinary. And and so my final question, my favorite question, okay. How do you go? I guess what I'm trying to say is, when I think people have that psychic touch, when they know something's wrong, when a mother knows something's wrong with her son or her daughter far away, or when a phone call someone's about to call your phone, but you already knew who it was before they was about to call, or when you were thinking about something and it just it kind of sort of happened. Is it like a gut feeling? Because to me, it's like a gut feeling, like when and it's not about, I think it's not about knowingness, more like sort of feeling, correct? Would you say, like, I guess what I'm trying to say, how would you use that sense more?
So you have the gut feeling,
Mm-hmm.
you have the intuition, you have an inner knowing. You just have that inner knowing without really knowing. You know without knowing. Mm-hmm. It's that inner voice. So you begin to start to listen to your inner voice. in the retreat, Opening to More, we'll be diving in more detail about opening your channels, opening, listening to yourself, the whispers. Some people see in whispers or hear in whispers, some people in color. So we'll be seeing how your gift manifests itself. So this gut feeling, you call it, is true. It is the gut. It's like you just know. And then you, and the way you know if it works is you follow it. And then when you follow it and it goes, and you see it's correct, you know you are following your gut. When you follow it and then you say, oh, it didn't work, it means that you're not reading the signs properly, you're still learning. Mm-hmm. So when it is a gut feeling, if it says go here, you go and you get, and you win the lottery. You go and you get the girlfriend. You go and you get the job. You go and you have a lovely evening. You just know. You have a feeling and it happens and you experience it and you feel more empowered. You've opened to more of your own intuition, your own power. So in opening to more, you're actually refining yourself. And this is a practice you need to do in your journey of manifestation and opening your life to more love, more healing, more intuition, more knowledge, more spiritual development, more self-development, more personal development, more abundance, more awakening. All the words you have said, my son, all the words you've said.
That's awesome. So more abundance, everything. So,
and it's and some people say, oh, why are you asking for more and more and more and more? That's not what I'm asking for more and more and more from selfishness. I'm saying opening to more. So it may be that you have money, but you have no compassion. So you want to open to more compassion. Mm-hmm. So everybody there's a more that what you will want. Some people will say, I want to open to more money, more abundance, more relationships, more love, more compassion. Supposing the person is wicked and jealous and suicidal and angry and they want to open to more love, more self-love, more self-mastery.
All the positivity. Yeah.
Yes, my love. Yes, more positivity. And I think everything is a personal process. It's a personal process. And I'm really looking forward to the retreat in November. From the 8th to the 12th, where we'll be covering the master number of 11. We'll be covering the energy of the moon vibration, calling in moon medicine. We're going to have 2-3 days of intense healing and practice and insights where I will be teaching. There'll be lots of practice. There'll be good food to eat. There'll be nice places to sleep. And it's just going to be fabulous in Northern Cyprus.
A complete heaven on earth.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, that's awesome. And there you have it, people. Toks Coker. Coker. Okay, I hope I was pronouncing it right. And
yes, you are. Yes, you are. Coker.
Okay, good, awesome. And she has an amazing event, like she said, in November. Come on, it's going to be great. Heaven on earth, as I mentioned. And I'm even excited. So who knows? I may be there right you. You may see me pop up because I'm always into spiritual development, self-development, and personal development all combined. So I'm definitely excited. And I'm definitely excited for you. Just how far you came on your journey and your story. Just so amazing how you impacted the world and people, and how you're still continuing to putting beautiful impact to people. So this is amazing, and I hope this will bring many aware. This event will bring many aware, which I know will. I just have a gut feeling. So there you have it, people. This is Toast Cooker and son Chanin doing this beautiful interview. So definitely come to the event. I may be there. You may see me. And she's going to host it, so it's going to be beautiful. So you're definitely going to miss out in November if you don't come. So thank you so much for this interview, Toks, and I look forward to doing many more with you.
My deep respect to you and your wonderful audience. Namaste. Thank you.
Namaste.